Hello and welcome back. I've got some watches to show you today. A couple of different ones. Well, actually, you think they're different, but they're not. They're the exact same model. So, we're going to talk about what got me into collecting. I get asked the question a lot: why am I so obsessed with the brand Zenith? And quite a narrow focus as well on a particular era and a particular movement type. That is the El Primero with the caliber 3019 PHC and also PHF. So what got me initially caught into the rabbit hole was me wasting some time in an airport, and I came across a Zenith El Primero open heart with a black dial and wasted the salesperson's time and tried it on, but never actually ended up buying it. That led me into researching afterwards in my spare time, and literally spending hours and hours and hours and hours until eventually I pulled the trigger after I researched everything. I thought, where should I go? Where do I buy these sort of things? And I ended up on eBay. Used to be quite good back in the day, and I ended up coming across a really nice shiny chronograph, yellow carat, 18 carat yellow gold. I know, wasn't really too sure what model it was, but because it was pretty obscure. But it caught my eye, and luckily for me, the seller was based in London, so just down the road. I ended up meeting that person, and we're still friends till today. So I've got to see him next week actually for another watch. But the watch in question is the one I'm wearing. So it's a Zenith G583 from 1970 to 71. They made these in that period, and they made them in 350 pieces. So quite an obscure sort of model anyway, being of 18 karat gold and not made in too many units in itself. So what we got here, this particular one has the one that's mine. I've had since 2014, January 2014. So the month of El Primero's release, which was also January, but 1969. So I think that gave me a little bit of a spur to push on to get one of these watches. This one here, so it's got a nice champagne silver dial with the 3 sunken sub registers for the chronograph function. The chronograph hand is the classic red El Primero paddle hand with the luminous rectangular tip. And we have the date wheel, as the vast majority of them do. Whether you love it or not, it's there. And they've got a nice yellow gold case. This one's patinaed slightly over time, well, coloured, oxidised, however you want to call it, so slightly more rosy. We've got a NATO crown as well. It's a lovely little piece. So that one's my personal one. I'm going to put that on here. Alongside that, there we go, it's another one. I've always collected multiples of the same references. So this one is another of the same, which I picked up many, many years ago. This is in much sharper condition than my own personal watch. You can see the two side by side. So you can see the lugs are unpolished. Mine probably unpolished as well, but mostly lightly, but just a lot more worn. I've worn it myself. So this particular example on the green strap, the same model again, same reference. This particular example I purchased myself in, I think it was like 2018 or so 6-7 years back. And in that whole time, I believe I wore it once. I just like to keep it because I like to preserve museum sort of quality watches. But now, having my time, well, I haven't really worn it, so now I've put it in my cabinet, so it's available. Again, the same silver dial, same functionalities, same yellow gold case on a new strap. Well, yeah, so that's that one. And then there's a bit more, another special piece for you. It's a nice little red box. So it's a period correct box. Maybe slightly later, towards the late 70s, but that sort of era. Whether it was originally sold in the box, who knows? I wasn't the original owner, so it's hard for me to confirm that. Which is the way I collect most of my stuff anyway. Whether it falls in the correct rough period of what could have happened. These sort of gold watches, as a side note, when they were released, were one, rather expensive, not exactly hot sellers. So some of them have sat in cabinets for years until they were sold. I've seen examples of another reference which is quite alike, which was manufactured in 1972, and the paperwork from the retailer was from the mid-80s, like 84 or so. So it sat in a retailer's cabinet for potentially up to 12 years, maybe in the safe, but maybe out. Anyway, back to the watch in the box. Pull it out. Oh, there's another of the same reference. Again, I do like collecting multiples of the same watches. This particular example is in absolutely new old stock condition. New old stock NOS. So meaning it has not been worn, but probably been tried on once or twice by somebody. Maybe turn it over. We have a purple wax. This is a jeweler's wax. So the factories would apply these purple waxes, sometimes blue, sometimes purple, the French ones occasionally red. They would apply that when they were shipping the watches from the factory to the retailers to prevent them from scratching in transportation. Retailers would either remove the wax or sell the watch on. When you wear the watch itself, that starts peeling off pretty quick. So, that's a good indication that it hasn't been worn itself. Again, absolute mint case. So you got incredibly sharp facets, like best case I've seen myself, and I've handled a few of these. I've had a few, and that is absolutely the absolute mint. The dial's nice and clean, nothing obvious to the naked eye, nothing that you can really notice too much. The strap is just a generic strap, so nothing period correct, or buckles generic. But it does have a nice little hang tag, little numbers on the back. These are nice little touches. Whether they're originally on there, who knows? But they do go with the piece. Whereas on the one I'm personally wearing, it does come with the period correct Zenith buckle, signed buckle. These are actually manufactured by a company called Unrock, which is signed on the inside as well. So if you're looking for these, do watch out. It has an Unrock inside. Sometimes they're not. So the aftermarket ones will be missing certain aspects, but that's the ones that's what you want. These are gold plated. I've never seen one in the same fashion in 18 karat. So that's it. If I do find one, I'd let you know. And that's it. Yeah. So these are the three watches here side by side, just to give you an example of one which is particularly rare watches and in different varying conditions. Each nice in their own right as well. And that's all I have for you today. So there you go. Hope you like that. Hope that helps. Hope that's informative. And I'll keep this particular watch back for me. It's the first Zenith I've bought. So that's in that day. Oh, so it's Zenith's wristwatch. There you go. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thanks.